Taking some time for the yeah. So the recording has started. Um, right. So once again, thank you all for joining our today's session. We would start with a quick round of introduction. I'll introduce myself first. My name is Anay Kamath. I work as a consultant for a company called Equal Experts, which is a Pune-based company. But I'm also a part of this small club called as Pratham Club. And we have been organizing these competitions for almost all the school age students since 2024, and we have been getting a pretty good success across it. So if we are talking about the Codever 5 that happened in 2025, that was the very first one that we organized as a group. Um, that resulted in two teams from Goa winning gold in internationals, Dubai internationals. This was then followed by the first season of WSRO 2024, where again we had two teams that won at Ahmedabad Nationals, WSRO Nationals. So we will see, and over the period of time till today, we have made a lot of progress, not just in Codever and WSRO, but in all other competitions that happen in this space. But today's focus, we are going to talk about WSRO, and that's where we would spend talking next 1 hour about. So in today's session, our main focus would be, this is an orientation session. Remember, this is not a training workshop. This is a orientation session, which would give you an idea of what WSRO is, what competitions are happening for Goa, what specific things you should know about each of those competitions, how to register for them, where the competition is going to happen, and which are the key communication channels or the official communication channels that you should look into or believe into or approach if you have any questions further. That's the purpose of this session. That is the reason why this session is also getting recorded. There could be some offline orientation sessions that might also get planned, but that would be declared later, along with any physical training sessions that we plan for. That's about the agenda for today. Moving ahead, what is WSRO? So WSRO stands for World STEM and Robotics Olympiad. It's been happening for quite some time in India. But in Goa, this officially started from 2024. So when we started, we'll just go to the next slide quickly. Um, when we started in 2024, there were around 25 teams that became eligible from Goa. So we had 92 teams that participated in Goa regionals, which happened at Kampal Indoor Stadium in 2024. Uh, Out of those, 25 teams had got selected for nationals, but as that was the first year, we had only two teams which won anything at nationals. This was very well covered by the newspapers at that time. All of these newspaper links are also there on the website for anybody to refer to. But last year was a pleasant surprise. So again, we had 92 teams, but almost all of those 92 teams were from Goa. So when I talked about 92 teams in 2024, 7 of them were from out of Goa. But when we conducted it last year, all 92 teams were from Goa. Out of those, 32 teams had traveled to Ahmedabad for WSRO Nationals, from which almost 10 teams won some or the other award. So that's a very good number, frankly speaking. So if you're probably looking at the video that I just played at the start, you would really notice a lot of faces from Goa over there, apart from the photo where I paused. But what was also interesting was last year, there was officially an international event that happened in Italy and Dubai, at which around 5 teams were eligible. Actually, 6 teams were eligible, out of which 5 teams actually traveled. I missed one team to include around here. But one of the team had traveled to Italy. So the competitions, the internationals happen at two places, Italy as well as Dubai. This year, it is Italy and Singapore. Um, so one team had traveled to Italy, and rest of the four teams traveled to Dubai. Out of the four teams that traveled to Dubai and participated in Dubai Internationals, three of them came back with an award on the stage. So frankly speaking, it is they basically won third, fourth, and fifth prize. So that was quite an amazing story. We were really, really happy with it. We aim to replicate the same story this year. So this year we also decided to make it a bit grand in our approach. Um, yes, so we would talk about what competitions we have. So there are around 10 tracks that we will be looking into that is going to take place in Goa. Right, one of them is new, so keep a watch. Right, so what are the competitions that we are talking about? So the competitions that we are talking about start with is a pretty simple one. It's called a STEM balloon car challenge. Okay, this is probably the simplest one that exists around here, because you can build that entire project at home, right, using the parts already available at your place. So all you need to do is you need to build a small car which is powered by a balloon. You need to blow the balloon, and then the balloon that car should drive forward. I'll show a video about that in some time. And this particular competition is actually very interesting. It's actually open all the way from age 8 to age 16. Gets really interesting to look into. We introduced it in Goa regionals for the first time last year, and we are continuing it with this year as well. The next competition we have is Junior Robo Race. Uh, Robo Race is the next simplest one if we sort of go by that logic. You need to build your own car, which is either controlled wirelessly or in a wired way. And you need to then drive that car on a track. That track is going to have turns, it is going to have slopes, some obstacles in between, and whoever completes the track first wins. Again, it's a single age group from 8 to 16 years of age. Um, though it is said, like, two players in a team, well, you could say that that age group is quite big. It's from 8 to 16, right? So it could be any age group. Both the team members could be of any age group within that slot. The third one, this is where it starts getting somewhat bit interesting and somewhat bit more into electronics and coding, and that is junior line following, a non-Lego based competition. Why is it called non-Lego? We'll talk about that shortly, but it is basically a line following competition. You need to build a robot with sensors, which has to drive itself autonomously and complete a trek. Young Scientist is not a robotics competition, right? It's basically a project competition. You need to build a project, get it to the venue, um, keep it on a table, set it up properly over there, and present it to judges. So this is not actually a robotics competition. This little bit odd one out over there, including the other one. We'll talk about it. Uh, Smart Factory is a type of a competition which is called as a robo mission category. That's we'll probably need to go a bit in detail about it, but essentially, you need to build a robot that can complete various missions, like take a block from somewhere, place it somewhere, then go to another location, and like there could be various tasks, like you need to put some panels down, push something ahead out of your way, etc., etc., etc. So there are certain missions described well before they have already been declared what those missions are. So this is quite interesting, but also gets quite challenging in the way that happens. Again, 8 to 16 of age, and minimum 2 members in a team and maximum of 4. The two which is there, two after that, is a new addition this year, but they are based on a kit. So if you have heard of a company called Blix, so it's by them. So you need to use that particular kit and build it. It's also quite interesting in a way, but as of today, we don't have much information on what those tracks are. I haven't seen it. The first time that it happened was when WSRO Mumbai regionals happened. So over there, I wasn't there to see it. So yes, we probably won't talk about it in today's session, but we'll have more orientation sessions where we can probably answer your questions in a much better way. Uh, Lego line following is basically very, very similar to junior line following. The only difference here is you need to build your line following robot using Lego parts only. More details we will talk about when we'll go in a detailed slide of it. Lego Master Challenge is also another equivalent one, but this is also not a robotics challenge. You just need to construct the project and get to there. But one new addition that is definitely happening, and it is starting from Goa this year, is what is called as Robotics Construction Challenge. We would definitely talk a bit about this because out of all other competitions which are there, which requires some prior planning for you to participate about, Robotics Construction Challenge does not require any of prior planning or a kit on your behalf. So you can just come and participate directly. So wait till we come to that slide, and let's move forward and talk about each of the track in detail. Let me just check if we have any questions. We still have just 3 questions on Slido. I just want to check, is Slido link opening for everyone? Can you sort of try it out and give a thumbs up on the call, please? Okay, great. Please continue giving because I can see your reactions. So I just want to make sure that the Slido link is opening and it's available for everyone to ask questions. Great, great. So do post your questions whenever you have them. Okay, so let's talk about STEM balloon car. If you participated last year for WSRO 2024-25 Goa regionals, or if you have participated in the same challenge at Sankalpana that happened just a few weeks back, you might have seen this competition, right? It is one of, I won't say it is the easiest competition out there. Uh, there are some interesting challenges over here, which we'll talk when we'll look into the rules of it. But let me show the video first, right? That should help. Just look at the video. This video is from last year's. Yes, this is what it is basically, right? You need to build a car, attach a balloon to it, blow it up. Uh, the air from the balloon rushes from one end through the straw, and by Newton's third law, the car moves forward. That's what it is about. But something that you do need to understand here is your robot is your score is counted till the point your robot is there on the track. So if your robot starts and then it sort of changes its direction and moves out of the track here, then that would be the point which they would measure. So it's like comes all the way till 6 and then turns around, and by the time it reaches 8, it is out of the track. Then 8 is what your score is, right? So that's what is counted. So that and the time. So you need to ensure that you can build it in such a way that it just goes straight. So this is a perfect video. Right? That's important. If you have seen it, it went pretty straight. So that is what you need to target for when you are building this track. Yes. So what are the rules? You need to build a car for this competition. You need to build a car that is powered only by a balloon, no batteries, nothing. Also, you cannot use a part from any other toy. Like, if you have purchased a balloon car before, you cannot use the part from there. You have to use parts which are either made entirely by you or is made from parts available at home. That includes, like, bottle caps, cardboard, straw, uh, uh, CDs, etc. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay. Yeah, and what matters is how far it goes in a straight direction, right? So only then you will get your maximum points. So keep that in mind. It's a very good entry point and a very good competition, literally for everyone. Even if you don't have anybody to train you into electronics or coding or robotics, this is one competition you can definitely and easily participate. There is one more, we'll talk about that, but definitely this is one competition, and that competition can take you all the way to nationals as well, as you can see below. All right. This is then followed by junior robo race. But before we do that, let me just check once if you have any questions. Okay, yes, we are getting more questions. Great. Um, let's go further. Junior robo race. Robo race has been extremely popular in Goa since it started, right? Um, you have to build a robot, that it doesn't require any special coding. It doesn't require any coding. There is a bit of electronics here, but no coding. Right? You need to build a robot which is powered either by a remote control or through a long wire that is attached to it. When we talk about remote control, there are actually two options out here. So one is called as an RC remote, one that they use to fly drones or something like that kind of a robot. Or the other option is to also control it via Bluetooth. Our advice here generally would be don't go for the Bluetooth option, even though it looks better, because Bluetooth often disconnects, and it's not whichever competitions we have seen, Bluetooth robots just don't win this competition. Okay, um, go for wired ones or go for RC controlled robots if you are ever participating into this. Wired robots have also won pretty successfully, even at the nationals. So yeah, you don't have to rush yourself into building an RC robot only. Wired robots are also equally powerful and they run throughout the train, right? So, sorry, there is no limitation on any kit here. Um, any parts that are available to you, you can build with it. Just keep in mind that there are going to be certain obstacles. You will see the video. The track for this year is also going to be same as you can see it in the video. And then you just need to come, and when your turn comes, place the robot on the track and drive it. You can also walk along with the car. So let's quickly take a look at the video. That is what it is. Last year, Goa has been pretty lucky for RoboRace. We won top 3 awards actually around here. So yes, why not? Why not this year again, right? So all the best if you are participating into this. We would really like to have a lot of teams, especially around this particular event. It is a beginner entry into doing something electronics, which is then followed further by the junior line following robot. This also includes electronics, but also sensors and coding, right? This event is interesting in a way that it looks nice that the robot is doing that whole line following on its own. But if you're sort of into it, then it gets even more challenging because you are really, really trying to make it faster in such a way that it doesn't go out of the line. So if you're here for the first time, let me actually play a video and show it to you how it looks like. Yeah, that's the whole track. Right? It's a big track actually. Um, you might have seen this for Sankalpana also. So it would be similar during the WSRO Goa regionals also. You need to build that robot along with the sensor. In coming days, we would be providing some recommendations around how you can do it. But understand something like, even though you do not require a lot of coding when it comes to this challenge, because a lot of codes are already been created for this kind of a robot, you still need to understand how to tune it. That comes with a practice. So yes, this is about electronics, not much about coding, because coding is a solved challenge as far as line followers are concerned. But you do need to know how to tune three variables. Actually, there are five variables, but three of them are very popular. It's called as PID, proportional, integral, and derivative. So you need to know how to do that. So it correctly follows the line at the speed that you are given to it without coming out of the line. Because the moment it goes out of the line, it gives you a penalty, right? So idea is pretty simple. You have a black line on a white track, and that has curves and sharp turns and some intersections. And you need to make sure that the robot can follow the line without going out of the line and complete the track as early as possible for you to win it. Again, Goa got the first prize in this competition at Ahmedabad Nationals last year. So, would be really nice to see more people taking up the challenge this year as well. Yes, we talked about young scientist before. Young scientist is not a robotics competition as such. It doesn't even have to involve coding. To some extent, it doesn't even strictly have to involve electronics. Though if you have used electronics, it gives a better impression in front of the judges. But one of the project that won at Young Scientist last year at Ahmedabad Nationals didn't actually had a lot of electronics. I'll talk about what that model was, just to give you an idea. What matters here is your idea, the project that you are making, and the presentation that you are doing about it. That's really, really important. And your abilities to answer the questions to show that you have enough depth and clarity on the subject that you are talking about. Um, this is very easy to get started. You can get started with it using anything that you have along with you, right? Any electronics kit, or you can make a project out of cardboard, 3D printing, MDF, anything, and you can get it around, get it to the competition. Um, so to give an idea, I'll just briefly mention what that project was. What the idea that the students had was, in general category, the train, general category of the train, you sometimes, it gets hot inside. So their idea was to put like a propeller on top of the, like a windmill, you can say, on top of the train. And when the train moves, it can take that wind energy and convert it to electricity to drive the fan inside that compartment of the train. The way they presented it, there was nothing much. The train wasn't even moving. It was a very, very static model made out of cardboard, but they had those windows, and if you see inside those windows, you could even see that they had modeled the sofa and sitting place, or the chair car as we call it, right, inside that compartment. It was really, really well designed. They had not even used a fan to show around here. So what they were doing was they had put like a small fan, attached it to a DC motor, and they had connected the other end of the DC motor to LEDs. and they were showing that when you rotate it, the LED turns up. That's what they presented, and they actually won the first prize about it. It may feel strange, but the point I'm trying to convey here is what you present, how you present your ideas, and the confidence that you can give to judge that you have enough idea about what you are speaking or presenting is important here rather than building a big fancy project. Right? So this is also an exciting competition. The only challenge here, apart from the fact that you need to prepare your presentation well, is it's kind of a subjective judgment. Like in case of a line follower, right? Your robot completes the track, and it is in one of the top five. You are going to win there. Over here, you don't know about it. It is completely dependent on the judges, the way how much judges are actually convinced by your answers. So it's kind of subjective, but it does get interesting, and it doesn't require any robotics or high-end coding at all. So do post your questions if you have anything. We'll move forward. Smart Factory Robotics Challenge is an interesting one here. So it does involve a combination of line following. It doesn't have one set of ready-made code that you can use and then just tune some variables here and there. You have to actively code your solution for this challenge. The last year, the similar challenge was there, and it was called as Industry 4.0. At that point of last year, when this competition was there, it was required to use a specific kit called as Quirky. This year, that requirement has been taken care of. So you can even build a robot using Arduino if you have Arduino servos, anything that you have available. That's the primary thing around here. So it doesn't depend on Quirky anymore. You can use Quirky, but you can very well use Arduino shields, any motors that you have, or ESP32, for example. So you can get creative as much as you want here. This competition, we'll talk about it, also is going to go all the way to Singapore for internationals. And there are more than one award criteria around here. So what are the awards? Well, the first set of award is basically, it's like a general group, which is anybody who scores maximum in a shortest possible time. That team, top three of those teams, they are going to win the awards, right? This is like a general approach. The one followed by that is in case you don't want to do a lot of coding, but you want to enjoy building a very, very good robot and want to, there's nobody to train you into a lot of, those coding strategies and all that stuff. You can drive it manually. The difference between manual driving and autonomous driving, autonomous control, is that if you complete that task autonomously without any manual controls, you would score 50% more scores. So if there is a particular task, you need to take one box and place it at the other place, and that task has 10 points if you do it manually, and if you do the same task automatically, it will score you 15 points. Right? Now your question would be, well, this is going to favor those people, right, who have mentors or anybody to just help them into coding all of that stuff. What's the fun? Well, the fun this year is you can do an entire thing manually as well without a single autonomous one. And if you are doing, or if you're completing all the missions with a manual control without even a single autonomous code, you are eligible for the second group of awards, which is called as the best manual drive. Right? So that's what to be eligible to that, you have to make sure that all your controls are completely manual. Third group of award is if you have designed it, in a very, very unique way or a beautiful way, your robot looks really, really good, right? Then there is something called as, the kind of the best design robot kind of thing. You need to submit like a small booklet describing how you designed it, why you designed it that way, to be eligible for that award. Fourth award is if your solution, the way you designed your claw or the gripper or the robot controls, etc., in a very, very innovative way, a unique and innovative way that helps it to solve the mission faster. It may not be best looking, but it could be, most innovative in its approach. Then there is a separate award for it. But again, you need to submit a booklet talking about the innovations that you used inside your robot. And the final one is if the team member, remember the team is, sorry, I have a mistake in the slide here. It says 2 to 3 teams. No, it's actually 2 to 4 teams, 2 to 4 students in a team. And if all of them are girl students, right, then there is a separate category of award for it. So if there is a team which performs well, formed entirely of girl students, they would have a separate award for it. So yeah, there is a single competition with lots and lots of awards, but also at the same time equally challenging. Lego line following, I'll not go much into much detail because this really matters. So read the fine print. It's basically like a line follower, but you have to build an entire line follower using either the EV3 or the Spike Prime kit, which Lego sells. Right, that kit is extremely costly in India. But even if you have that kit, even the sensors need to be from Lego. Right, so if you don't have it, just go for a normal line follower, junior line follower, non-Lego category. Right? Everything else remains almost the same. The only difference is this: if you have a Lego built robot, it has its own separate category. Again, Goa has been winning into it for past 2 years at national level also. So we are expecting the same to happen this year. Of course, if you have EV3 or Spike Prime robots. Okay, and we are skipping through around actually 3 competitions. Remember, we talked about Lego Master Challenge. We talked about 2 of the Blix events, right? Regarding Lego Master Challenge, we had no participation about it last year. If you have any particular query or understanding on if you want to have any particular understanding on Lego Master Challenge, we will talk about it separately or as part of the future onboarding sessions. As far as Blix is concerned, I have mentioned about this before. I haven't seen the event. I'm not yet confident to correctly talk about it and guide you, but we would have more sessions coming up on onboarding and guidance. So then we can definitely talk about it. But in the interest of time, let's move forward. And here is a very own competition track that is coming this year. And that is called as Robotics Construction Challenge. You might have actually seen this challenge. Now, this particular challenge is very interesting one. It is actually a challenge that combines a workshop kind of experience. Let's say you have not done any of robot building before, right? You just don't have an experience, but you know how to use, screwdrivers, screws, and nuts. Like, you can come participate at this event. Um, no prior knowledge or experience is required, so that's why it is called as workshop kind of experience. You need to follow the guide and your imagination and the techniques to sort of complete the construction challenge which is given to you. So it is workshop as well as the competition at the same time, right? You just need to come there, participate into it, and whoever completes that fast enough is going to win. You might have seen this for the Sankalpana also. It has been happening at Sankalpana right from the first season of Sankalpana. Right. So now it is also going to become part of WSRO. So I know. So if you are worried about participation in any of other categories, right, or not just that, if you just want to come over there and build that robot or the construction challenge which is given to you on your own, and prove to the world that you do it, or just get an experience of it, then this is a very good track for you to participate into. Let's quickly take a look at the video around it.
I request Sir Yogesh Kerkar to hand over a prize to Ashwin Shirodkar, has participated in all the Sankalpanas in Goa and in Chiprun also.
So now this event is also officially getting included into WSRO. So if you like it, do participate. I can't think of any particular reason not to participate into this particular event. Yes, let's move forward and we can talk about some official channels, right? If you want to contact anyone, the official person to contact is Pravita. Her phone number is given here. She's also there on the call today. Understand one thing, she is the officially designated person to get in touch into. So if you want to ensure that you have got the most correct information, she is the person to reach out to. Do not, if you have any kind of questions, just don't ask your fellow participant or anyone. Make sure you contact the right person to get the most correct information, right? Organizing committee or anybody in the organizing team would not be responsible for any misunderstanding that occurs because some of you contacted the person who's not the official person to communicate with. Okay, make sure the number is clearly given here. That is the official person you can talk to and get your doubts clarified. Okay, followed by the official web page for WSRO 2026 Goa Regionals. Okay, Goa Regionals is prathamrobotics.club competitions WSRO 2026. Let me actually show that page to you once. So yeah, this is what it looks like. This is Goa specific page. Okay, this is only going to talk about the events that are happening in Goa and the date and the venue. This is the page you are supposed to refer to. Okay, but if you want to register, then the only place to register is directly on the WSRO's website, which is wsro.in. So let me show that web page to you. This is the web page, the official web page of WSRO. No matter which regional you are participating in, the registration has to happen on this website. Okay, so once you go to wsro.in, you would see this page, and then you need to go to registration. Okay, if you want to have access to the rules, you need to click on download rule book. That is going to give you an access to all the rules, okay, of the competition. This is very, very important for you to go through. All the rules of all the competitions which we just talked about are actually very well defined here, right? So make sure you follow those rules. In the training workshops that we'll be conducting, we would also go over the specific rules, but uh, you know, the best thing, instead of asking anybody, right, is to refer to this rule. Only if you have a question about any rules, then you can approach any one of us. Okay, then how do we register? So let's go back to the WSRO web page. Remember, go to wsro.in, click on the registration. It gets you to this page, and then you need to click on regionals 2026. Okay, so go here, and then the very first one that you see is Goa Regionals 2026. Okay, Pedam Indoor Stadium, happening on 20th June 2026. You need to click on register now, Then identify the project that you want to participate into. You can see that the robotic construction challenge is also included here, right? So you need to select the competition that you want to participate into. Let me say I want to do balloon car, right? Then click on it. Make sure that the details you see are correct, that you are indeed looking into Pedam Indoor Stadium and for the Goa regionals. Okay, and you have access to download the rules book again, and then you click on register, and then give the name of your team, who your coach is, and start adding those two participants that you can add to. Remember, balloon car only has maximum of two participants. Okay, once you're filled in, it will take you to the payments link, and once the payment is done, your registration would get confirmed. Okay, so this is the only official registration page where you can do. If you want to look at all the competitions which are there, so we can just go over there briefly. So just go to the competitions page here, scroll down, not here in the regionals 2026, just scroll down, and you would see all the competitions that are listed, right? So we talked about Lego line following. You can see that you have to start from regionals. If you clear that, you go to nationals. If you clear that, you go to internationals, and internationals is going to happen in Italy. Similarly, junior robo race. This is the first time junior robo race is also going to have internationals, and that is in Singapore. Okay, so if you like junior robo race, well, you have chance to go all the way to Singapore this time. All the line following tracks have their internationals as Italy. Something to keep in mind. Young scientist is in Singapore. Lego budding builder, we are not having that in Goa. Smart factory is also going all the way to Singapore. The Blix events, keep in mind, that does not have internationals. Okay, Lego Master Challenge also does not have internationals. Goa is holding a Lego Master Challenge, but we didn't get any participation for it last year. Uh, STEM balloon car also does not have internationals. Okay, after this, there are nationals. So anybody who wins in the regionals in this category is eligible to participate in nationals. But there are other events, as you can see here, for which you can directly participate in nationals and then still get directly to internationals. Okay, so one of them is entrepreneurship challenge. Remember, it is actually 8+, so it's a very, very open category. It does not have a limit, upper age limit. It's very much similar to young scientist, but you need to talk about how you are going to make a product through out of that project and then sell it, and what is the business strategy and all that kind of things. But yes, it is having international. There is no regional participation for this. You directly have to register for internationals, and if you win over there, you get to participate in Italy. 1 kg Lego Sumo. You might have, this is also a very interesting event. I might share some videos around here, but again, it's a direct international, direct national level participation. Get a chance to go to Italy. The drone challenge. Goa has been participating it in for last 2 years. We got one award last year into it, but yes, this is also direct national entry, and then you can get directly into Italy. If you win at nationals. Again, you can see that there are few more events who are direct entry into nationals, but they do not have internationals here, right? So this is something to keep in mind. And before we sort of move on to the question, one important detail I would like everyone to understand, this is important this year, is the nationals for WSRO are going to take place in Goa itself. So if you're winning, if you're participating in Goa regionals, if you are from Goa, if you are winning in Goa regionals, and if you get a chance to participate in nationals, you do not have to travel separately. The direct travel that you might need to book would be if you win at nationals, and then you are getting a chance to go into internationals. So yeah, this year everyone from Goa should try to take best of their chance, because you do not have any travel cost involved till you win for internationals. Yeah. So keep that in mind. That should be a good enough reason to participate this year in a good number. That's about the agenda that we had. Apart from all of this, there are three Instagram handles, we would share link to each one of those in the WhatsApp group, or also declare that in on our website, which is Tech Infinity. This is the FTC team, Goa's FTC team, uh, followed by Curious Mind, who's the organizing partner, as well as Lego Goa, like another one of the organizing partners that we have. Any further updates would be declared simultaneously on the website, on the WhatsApp group, which is there, and on all three channels. Right. So if you're not on the WhatsApp group, you don't want to join WhatsApp group, uh, do subscribe to any one of these channels. I would rather say, even if you are there on the WhatsApp group, do subscribe to one of these channels. It may still help, because it is sometimes important that you get to know the crucial information that will happen about the competition. That's about the information that we had for today's session. Let's go around questions, and do start posting your questions. Okay. So we have around 8 open questions. Great. So we had 3 and now we have 8. We'll try our best to answer all of them. Can we customize our tire grip for the robo race? Yes, you can. You can use uh, you know, uh, cricket bat grip. There are some teams who have done that. If you have any other better option, you can use that also. But yes, there is absolutely no limit. Only you need to make sure that the dimensions of the robot are as per the rules. Okay, I hope you have answered this. So market is done. What are the maximum height and width of the tire we can select? What is the best option for the track? I assume this is about RoboRace, and I'm going to answer this assuming it is about the RoboRace. Okay, so there is no maximum height and maximum width or the weight for a tire. Okay, the specifications given are for a robot, including the tire into it. So keep that in mind. As far as I can remember of my mind, the RoboRace robot is 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter. And that's because your track is around 31 to 32 centimeters in width. So if you make it bigger, well, your robot itself will not fit. But if you make it bigger than the robot's dimension, then your robot would not be allowed to start the competition. So remember that, do check the rules and build your robot accordingly. But there is no specific height and width for a particular component like a tire. Yeah, the specification exists for an entire robot. Okay. Do we need to buy the components for the projects? Okay, this is a good question. So, well, the simplest way I can say it is, if you already have those components, if you participated last year, then you might have some of those components already with you, in which case you don't have to buy it again this year, unless you want to improve upon it in a better way. That is, if you already have a line follower robot, you want to now add impeller or fan to it, you have to buy that impeller or fan for your line follower robot. Maybe you want to add better motors compared to last year. Yes, then in which case you will still have to buy them. And apart from that, for something like balloon car, well, you don't really have to buy something. Maybe you might need to buy a straw in case you don't have it, and balloons for practice, obviously. Um, but most of those are readily available in the household or around you. Uh, for Blix, I assume, because it is happening for the first time in Goa, I don't assume you may have the competition kit with you. So yes, you have to buy it. And once you receive it, you will need to know how to build it, as how to build a robot and how to code for it, right? Before the competition happens. So keep that in mind. For line follower, in case you don't already have it, we would recommend the product. And the only reason we recommend that is because we have seen it working. You may go for it. You may go for any other kit that you are aware of. But yes, we will share one base kit for sure. For robotics construction, you don't have to buy anything. right? You just need to come over there. The parts would be given to you. Maybe Pravita or Yogesh, if you are here, you can add some clarity around it. Um, for a smart factory, yes. I won't say you may have to just buy it. Like in case you have a 3D printer, you can print parts yourself. But rest of the hardware can very well be made with 3D printing and other things. So yeah, I assume you have answered this correctly. If there are more doubts, you can again post your question. Can we use Quirky in the Smart Factory Robotics Challenge? Yes. But so the Quirky has not been disqualified. Quirky can be used, but along with that, other kits are also allowed. So you can build a robot with Arduino, ESP32, uh, uh, VEX, etc. Uh, which tire is preferred, soft or hard? Well, the softness of the hard part doesn't matter. It should not be thin, because if it is too thin, then you will not be able to cross the challenge in which you need to go over a sand, right? And if it is what matters is it should be able to hold a grip. Otherwise, it will not be able to uh, climb the slope. At the same time, the torque of the motor is also important. So keep that in mind, right? Tire is just one part of the equation here. What is the last date of the registration? Yeah, we have been asked about this quite often. Uh, up until now, the last date of the registration is not defined. One thing that we could definitely say is most probably it is definitely going to be after the school reopens, right? But yeah, we would really encourage everyone to sort of decide on which challenge they want to participate in and register for them as early as possible. And if you don't have access to some of those parts, because one of the biggest challenge in Goa is you don't get the parts quickly. So you will need to probably order some of those parts, and they also need to get delivered in time. So yeah, keep that in mind and register and order your parts in time. Can we participate individually in junior robo race? Yes, you can. The minimum is one member in a team, and maximum is two. So you can participate alone in the junior robo race. Can we add our parents' name in the coach section of the registration? Yes, it need not be a teacher. Uh, just that one adult has to be mentioned around there. So yes, that adult could be your parent. So it has to be an adult. Okay, the legal definition of an adult. So it has to be a parent or somebody who's training you, your teacher, or somebody who would be there, on the venue with you. Okay, make sure you add that name. So yes, hope we answered that. I don't see any more questions. Let me just check once if there are anything in the chat. I don't see any more questions there as well. Yeah, we have actually allowed. We are actually just on time. We have enabled the microphone also. If you have any questions, uh, please do ask, or you can post it on Slido. Will if some of the you can still continue posting your questions on Slido. We would be answering them as and when. Maybe we can respond to them on the WhatsApp group, or we can update them in Instagram, or take them up in upcoming sessions. I see that there is a question on the chat. Let me just check it once more. Uh, yeah, any training sessions will be in South Goa like last year? Yes, that will be planned. So we have been for all WSROs, we have been planning training sessions. Just that last time we planned it before anybody registered, and the feedback that we got was we conducted a training which was not for what students actually ended up registering for. So we would like to keep the training specific. So if you registered early, it will help us plan the training properly in time. That would give you enough time to practice also. So yes, don't wait for the last year. If you could register in time properly, it would help us to plan for the training. Well, we would be training we would be planning for the training anyways, physical training anyways, but it may just so happen that the training might be on a topic you don't want to participate into. So yes, do register. That will give us some data on what training we need to conduct on. Great. That's all that we had. Thanks everyone. Thanks for being with us today. Uh, any information about the training sessions we would share at least by coming Wednesday on the WhatsApp group, and it would also be posted on the website and on the 3 Instagram handles that we shared here today. Um, yeah, looking forward for a wonderful participation and a great competition on 28th June 2026. Thank you all. Have a very good evening ahead and see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.